In the boundless expanse where mortals grasp at eternity, the winds of fate grow ever more turbulent, loyalties fracture like brittle jade, and hidden schemes stir beneath the calm surface of cultivation's path. In our journey through Renegade Immortal Chapter 469 to 470, we return to a moment thick with tension, where power, sacrifice, and destiny intertwine. Wang Lin stands at the edge of transformation, his every step echoing with the weight of past battles and unspoken resolve. Allies and enemies blur like shadows at dusk, and the heavens themselves seem to watch in silence, awaiting his next move. But in a world where strength invites calamity, what price must be paid to seize control of one's fate? And as unseen forces begin to converge, will Wang Lin rise above the storm or be consumed by it? The path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, and the next breath may alter everything. Far beyond the crimson skies of planet Suzaku, Lume streaked through the void like a bolt of lightning, the golden-purple aura beneath her feet shimmering with fierce intensity. Her eyes blazed with anger and determination, lips pressed tightly as if to contain the storm within. "Wang Lin," she whispered through gritted teeth, her voice laced with both fear and resolve. She cut through the endless black, each movement sharp, precise and urgent. If it weren't for Master secretly granting me the fourth soul, I would have perished against those four primary souls. A flicker of golden-purple light danced upon her forehead. The image of a slender, glinting needle flashed repeatedly, like a phantom warning etched into her mind, her eyes hardened into cold steel. "When we meet again, I will not be in such a pitiable state. Wang Lin, you will not even recognize me when the 1,000 illusion ruthless domain transforms into the 10,000 illusion demon domain." And with that, her figure dissolved into the starlit expanse, leaving only a trail of golden radiance. Lume was not alone in departing Suzaku. In another corner of the void, a figure moved with serene grace, a girl veiled in purple, her gaze steady and tranquil. She was Zixin, gliding silently among the cosmos. Back on planet Suzaku, in the land of Chu, within the esteemed Cloud Sky sect, a solitary figure sat in contemplation inside a villa once inhabited by Li Muwon, clad in flowing white robes, his black hair draped loosely over his shoulders. He seemed ordinary at first glance, yet an enigmatic aura clung to him, subtle but unforgettable. His eyes, calm as a child's yet infinitely deep, held the weight of unspoken secrets. Outside the villa, a tiger lounged lazily beneath the sun, tail flicking in languid rhythm, low growls resonating softly through the warm air. Near it, a young woman sat in lotus posture, exhaling twin streams of white gas that danced skyward, a silent testament to her cultivation. Pure and innocent, she radiated a quiet charm, as though untouched by the world's treacheries. That man was none other than Wang Lin. 1 year had passed since his return from the treacherous Suzaku tomb. Upon coming back to Chu, he had immediately secluded himself for a year of intense, focused cultivation. His injuries from the tomb had fully healed, and though he had yet to reach the mid-stage of soul transformation, his early-stage mastery had become remarkably stable. 7 days ago, Zhou Wutai of Suzaku had summoned him for an appointment ceremony, yet Wang Lin had declined. Zhou Wutai, understanding Wang Lin's resolve, had acquiesced, ensuring only that Wang Lin's friends would live in peace for as long as he drew breath. Wang Lin's gaze drifted from the window, and his hand rested upon the bag of holding. With a swift motion, he summoned his celestial sword, which hovered effortlessly in the air. From the bag, a half-moon blade shot out, spinning joyfully around the sword as if alive. "Master, number 4 has already been tamed to obey me. Number 4, present yourself to Master!" Xu Liguo's proud voice emanated from the sword. Black smoke coalesced into his form, standing tall with pride. The half-moon blade trembled, releasing dark blue smoke that formed a boyish figure. Though indistinct in shape, he bowed deeply toward Wang Lin, sending forth a pulse of divine sense. "Greetings." A faint smile touched Wang Lin's lips. Xu Liguo had grown confident, yet the half-moon blade had shown loyalty beyond his expectations. Though Wang Lin could not imprint his divine sense upon it, the blade would intervene should Xu Liguo face danger, and Xu Liguo's pride had flourished under this delicate balance. "Master, I shall take number 4 out for a stroll," Xu Liguo declared, without waiting for a response. He leapt from the window, the half-moon blade following with a chorus of humming winds. Together, they vanished into the vast heavens. Wang Lin returned to the tasks at hand, his mind already calculating the journey to planet Tianyun, a voyage shrouded in uncertainty, where countless treasures awaited further refinement. As he contemplated his path, a sharp, commanding voice pierced the void. "Wang Lin, come witness the matter you asked me to investigate. I am outside Phoenix City, in a village called Mulberry. Do not bother me with trivial matters. I enjoy my life as a king too much for such distractions. When you are ready to depart, call me, and we shall leave together." It was Sichunan, his tone jubilant before fading into silence. Wang Lin's lips curved into a knowing smile. Their destinies had diverged after the Suzaku tomb. Sichunan had become a king, embracing a life of freedom, yet he had not forgotten their shared departure. Taking a deep breath, Wang Lin rose, stepped through the door, and greeted the sunlight. Under the shade, a young girl lifted her eyes and smiled, a smile that brought warmth to his heart. "Uncle, look at Ruer's cultivation. I've reached the second layer of qi condensation," Zhou Ru announced gleefully, ending her meditation with radiant energy. 1 year prior, Wang Lin had summoned the pagoda upon his return to Chu, releasing Zhou Ru and Little White. He had left provisions for her cultivation, and she had grown swiftly, her determination unyielding. Watching her, he could not help but recall Li Muwan, memories that lingered in the quiet corners of his heart. "Uncle, what is it?" Zhou Ru asked, noting his pensive gaze. Wang Lin gently touched a strand of her hair, rare softness in his eyes. "Uncle is growing old. Seeing you reminds me of someone I once knew," he murmured. Zhou Ru's laughter chimed like wind through bells. "Uncle, you aren't old at all. Just yesterday, a new junior apprentice brother asked if you were my older brother." Her words, playful yet tender, sought to comfort him. Wang Lin's sigh held the weight of centuries. "I have cultivated for 600 years. Time has left its mark. From mortal obscurity, I have carved my path to this moment, shaping the future of Suzaku itself. Sometimes it feels like a dream." He gazed at Zhou Ru with a mixture of sorrow and resolve. "Do you remember your parents, Ruer?" Her small frame trembled, confusion clouding her features. "Only vague memories," she whispered, lowering her gaze. Wang Lin's eyes flickered with unspoken regret, knowing the warmth of a true childhood had been stolen. "Ruer, I will take you home," he said softly, and with a wave of his sleeve, a cloud appeared beneath them, soaring into the distance. Little White leapt into the sky, roaring in spirited pursuit. On the cloud, Zhou Ru bit her lip, hesitant yet hopeful. "Uncle, did you find my parents?" "I have. Zhou Ru, remember this. Filial love is the first love a person knows. Without it, one cannot truly call themselves human." Wang Lin's voice carried the weight of a lifetime of cultivation and compassion. Zhou Ru nodded, then hesitated. "Uncle, didn't you say you'd take me with you when you leave planet Suzaku?" Wang Lin's sigh was heavy, tinged with the inevitability of fate. "Ruer, our paths must part here." "Uncle!" Tears filled her eyes, her voice quivering with the agony of separation. "Do not speak," Wang Lin said, his tone resolute. With a single step, the cloud surged forward, cutting through the air like a celestial blade. Behind them, Little White roared defiantly, unwilling to be left behind, a streak of untamed spirit chasing after the masters of fate as the stars themselves bore witness to their departure. The wind of dawn carried a strange tension across planet Suzaku, brushing the outskirts of Phoenix City where the mortal village lay. Smoke curled lazily from scattered rooftops, blending with the laughter of children and the sharp barks of dogs. The air was ordinary, yet it hummed with the quiet anticipation of fate. In a modest dwelling, the fifth house to the east, an older woman crouched before a modest hearth. Her hands, gnarled with years of toil, fanned the stubborn smoke curling from the firewood. A harsh cough tore through her throat, but she persisted until the haze dispersed, revealing a determined expression beneath the wrinkles of time. "Ru's mother." A tentative voice called from the room beyond. She paused, then rose, wiping her hands on her dress, and moved swiftly to the source. Inside, an old man sat perched upon the bed, his form skeletal, eyes hollow and dim. The weight of 2 decades pressed upon his shoulders, and yet even in this desolation, hope flickered faintly in his sunken gaze. The woman's tears began to flow before she spoke, her voice soft yet steady. "Husband, what would you like to eat today?" He lifted a trembling hand and she helped him sit upright. I dreamt that our daughter has returned. A faint light shimmered in his eyes, a spark long thought extinguished. Our daughter, she will come home soon. Tears coursed freely down the woman's face. Yes, she will return, soon, she whispered, as if invoking the heavens themselves to witness her conviction. He spoke of regrets, the shadow of a decision made long ago to allow a Taoist to take their daughter. 20 years had passed in an instant of lingering guilt, and Zhou's absence had carved a hollow in his soul. The woman's voice was a balm against his torment. Do not fear, our daughter is safe. Fortune guards her path. These were Zhou's parents, displaced by the merciless onslaught of the forsaken immortal clan. The years had deepened their longing. Each memory of their daughter twisted into a thorn that pricked their hearts relentlessly. Her father, weakened by grief and illness, had grown thinner each day. The burdens of the household rested upon her mother, yet her spirit remained unbroken, her heart forever tethered to Zhou. Soon our daughter will return. Husband, your dream, it shall come true. A low sigh escaped the old man, his gaze frozen on the doorway. The woman's heart stilled, following his line of sight. And then she saw her. A young girl stood at the threshold, her long black hair flowing like ink upon silk. Her visage stirred memories, hazy but unmistakable. You, the woman whispered, disbelief and joy mingling in her trembling voice. Mother! Tears streamed down the girl's cheeks as she rushed forward, embracing her mother. Ru'a! It's truly you! The old woman's cries mingled with her daughter's. Her husband, once feeble and broken, was suddenly revitalized. Strength surged through his frail frame as he sat upright, tears carving trails across his cheeks. Mercy! Gods have mercy! My daughter has returned! Outside, Wang Lin's presence was a whisper of regret and grace. A flicker of spiritual energy flowed silently into the two parents, healing their bodies and restoring their vitality. Ru'a, uncle must leave now, he murmured, his figure a lonely shadow against the morning light. Through the window, Zhou glimpsed him. A pang of sorrow gripped her heart. Uncle Wang Lin had been her steadfast companion since childhood, and now distance separated them once more. She whispered to herself, resolve threading through her words, I will cultivate until I can leave planet Suzaku. When that time comes, I will find you, and I will no longer hold little Ru'a back. Wang Lin departed. Little White, ever loyal, growled from the edge of the house, eyes shining with reluctance. Then, with a roar that split the morning air, he ascended in a flash of white light, leaving the village in stunned silence. Livestock trembled for weeks, haunted by the echo of his departure. Far to the north, outside the cloud sky sect, Wang Lin's voice rang clear. Tian, come forth! A figure of light emerged, revealing an elder whose cultivation had reached the soul formation stage. Respect radiated from him, for Wang Lin's deeds were legend across Suzaku. Sengnu, the one who had felled Red Butterfly, slain Qian Feng, challenged Zhou Wutai, and reshaped the tides of fate itself. A bag of holding appeared in Wang Lin's hand, and then into Tai Yan's. If Zhou reaches nascent soul on her own, give her this. If not, leave it be. A simple seal stands upon it. Study it, and one day you shall understand its power. Tai Yan, awed and trembling, swore unwavering loyalty to this command. Wang Lin nodded once, warning with quiet authority, then dissolved into a cloud of emerald smoke, carried by the wind, leaving only his legend in his wake. In the desolate northern reaches of the former Shuiyu lands, icy winds swept across a field of roses, white, pure, and ghostly in the chill. Amid them, a single blue rose stood, proud and unyielding against the cold. A youth in white robes entered the valley, calm as the winter air. The blue rose acknowledged him, exhaling a fragrance that filled the valley with ethereal grace. He plucked the rose with gentle reverence, and as he departed, the white companions around it wilted, lifeless without their lone jewel. Meanwhile, in Zhao, at the Wang family's ancestral temple, another young man, clad in white, knelt before the ancestral tablets, eyes locked upon the two at the pinnacle. Day turned to night, night into day, 3 cycles in all, tears streaking his face as remembrance burned in his soul. At last he rose, bowed deeply, and spoke softly. Father, mother, your son departs. Outside, the family and household gathered, attired in finery, cultivators among them. Wang Zhuo had felt a call, a stirring from Wang Lin himself, guiding him here, halting all activity. No matter their rank or standing, the summoning was absolute, for even across vast Suzaku, Wang Lin's name was law and his will, destiny. The stage was set. The winds of fate swirled, and the saga of reunion, legacy, and cultivation stretched before them as threads of destiny wove ever onward across the lands of planet Suzaku.